Okay, somebody asked the other day, what about holistic psychotherapy? How does that work? And I thought, okay, I'll do this video to explain the details of how holistic psychotherapy works and even how true meditation works, and we'll stitch it together to create a little bit of a newsletter and a video here. So the first part to understand around holistic psychotherapy, which is what I offer folks, is, if you still see me, is that you are already whole. I'm going to stand back out in front here. You're already whole, right? And, not a but, and you are also challenged. So you are whole and broken. You are whole and wounded. You are whole and you have trauma. You are whole and you have depression and anxiety. You have both of those things. The and is important to understand, because the wholeness in you, the Buddha in you, the Christ in you, that part of you that has your true nature, can actually, like a beloved grandmother, hold that part of you that is broken, that needs compassion, love, and presence and care, and needs to be felt, needs to feel the being feltness. You know, you need to feel felt. And when that happens, all sorts of things happen, and the shell of trauma breaks, the defense mechanisms and the fight, flight, freeze strategies start to break down, and you start to, that little seed inside there starts to bust out and take root, and then the rain comes and it, so with the tears and the body processing, which is another part of this, so let's just stay on this side. The holistic psychotherapy, you're already whole and you are challenged. But down here I'm talking about when we can process, when the rains of grief come, or when the anger comes, or the body gets steamy and burpy and needs to process all this shaking energy that's inside from the trauma, then we end up with a body, dream, mindfulness-centered psychotherapy. So it's about processing these traumas through the body. Why? Because before, when we had trauma, we had to dissociate. We had to spiritually bypass that as adults even. It was too painful for us to deal with as a child. So we now have to come back down into the body and allow the body to process that. And what happens is that there's increasing levels of presence and joy and fulfillment and a whole lot of love that ends up resulting in that, and a quality of presence that you really need, that we all have, and that our wholeness is able to provide for us when we meditate. But I'm jumping ahead. So you're whole, we are body, dream, the body is the dream is the body. That's psyche. She's constantly giving us messages through symptoms or dreams at nighttime that we need to heal. And it brings this depth and meaning to our life, which is so fabulous. The middle part is that the wholeness heals and transforms our resistances. It ends up, resistances are any of the challenges that we have, any of the symptoms that we have. Sorry, I'm dancing all over the front of this, but I'm trying to just stay connected with you guys on this. But so our wholeness is what heals. Our wholeness, think again, that Buddha wrapping his arms around you, or that grandmother that just, oh, come here, honey. We didn't do so well with that. That was a terrible thing that happened to you. Come here, let's get a Band-Aid on this. I'm going to look after you, and you just come and hang out with me, and that grandmotherly presence is what this wholeness is a metaphor for, right? So the grandmother presence is that wholeness embodied. And I don't know if you've ever had that experience where all of a sudden somebody starts to hold you in ways that you can naturally attach, naturally heal, and they somehow see you, and that presence connects with us. It's kind of like we show up with that kind of presence, and then all of a sudden we allow this person in, and then we have this resonance that results from that. So the research is crazy good on this, and then we're able to then build trust, and we're able to build a kind of a truth of who we are that can come back out, and then a attachment for authenticity, a need for authenticity can naturally start to unfold as we start to awaken and blossom, right? Okay, you with me on this? Okay, let's switch over to the other side here. Let me go over here on this side. Now let's talk about, I'm talking about holistic psychotherapy and true meditation. Boy, what a combination when they work together. But true meditation, or good mindfulness meditation, with some variations within the world of mindfulness about what true meditation is and what mindfulness is, there is the holding of that, and there's very popular right now for good reason, because it gives us access to home. What is home? Home, when we do outside home really well, we're present. We're feeling very loved. We're feeling cherished. It's where we hang our hat. The internal home is very present. It's where we host people. We can embrace people on the inside. We can embrace people in our home on the outside. We can always set an extra table for the unexpected guest, right? We have hospitality in the outside home with a bit of luck. I know that's difficult during COVID, but at the same time, we're very much involved in having to mobilize that inner home, perhaps because of COVID. That's the other side of it. We have a nice home, but nobody can visit. We can't do parties. We can't do celebrations except for our pod. But what we can do is start to cultivate this inner home. And the inner home can be cultivated through doing true meditation. Or, in my HUD practice in the morning, we definitely talk about home and cultivating those qualities of home, where you can just relax, right? And you can just curl up with your beloved, watch your favorite Netflix and have a nice cup of tea, or your favorite cat, or just, with the beloved, with metaphoric beloved, your Buddha. Your Rumi talks about the beloved. You curl up with that beloved with a cup of hot chocolate in front of the fire, and you're blanketed by this beloved. You're feeling that. So that can happen with good, true meditation. Now, the quality of home on the outside is also available on the inside, and we can dial that up. So there's more joy, more presence, more love, more compassion, more care. Of course, more resonance, more true allowing of things to be as they are. So you think of, the holistic psychotherapy kind of heals some of those wounds as we're climbing up Freedom Mountain and we're going towards success or raising a family or trying to achieve our Academy Award or trying to, just live a good, healthy life and provide or to raise a family, to be a mom, or to start a noble project or what have you. But on the way out, as we're climbing up there on our own, it's a very much an individual journey. That's the hero's journey. We can also get wounded and get crushed, and we can run into bankruptcy and divorce and cancers and all sorts of things, depression and anxiety. And so the idea then is to come back from our solo journey and come back into our village and come home to our village and really relax into that so that we can heal with good practitioners and resting and allowing ourselves to be in a more of a being state as opposed to go strategically all day long. So obviously these two can work really well together. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but let's keep going. So the quality and the quantity of home can be increased. That's already here. Again, that's our home and wholeness, same thing. Our Buddha nature, that grandmother that's inside of us that's going to hold us, or the grandfather. Or nature. Some people, it's a big tree. It's a big, gorgeous tree that just somehow embraces us with the big branches and whatnot. And we feel that stillness more in nature than we do in a church or in our own temple or in our own puja table at home with our own practice and our yoga mat. So however that's done, it can be done at the synagogue, temple, outside stuff, but also we can set something up at home. So qualities are home. We get more practice, more quality of home, more presence, more love. When we rest into the home, yes, the more peace, the more joy, the more love, the more presence, more fulfillment. We kind of have the fulfillment now as opposed to waiting until we're 65 or we're married or we're successful or what have you. But the idea is that the fulfillment is available to us now. And of course, you can awaken more of this wholeness and peace and joy and presence and fulfillment by having a practice. So what happens then if we put both of these things together? Let me move this again. You can still see that. So what if we do the good holistic psychotherapy and we do our true meditation together? Well, there's this beautiful thing called we. This is the connection that everybody's talking about. in modern science now we're talking about it as an interneurobiology of the we. We're talking about it in terms of like, yeah, just really feeling connected, like feeling that sacredness, liberation, and belonging. And when we do this really well, of course we have this, you know me, I have to go there. I'm Irish. We have this beautiful weave in and out of both and more. Both are cultivating. It's our wholeness over here that makes a difference. It's our wholeness over here that makes a difference. We can bring home to all our wounds. We can bring home to awakening more. This is the inner, this is the heroine's journey. This is the hero's journey. This is us, tackling things and going through stuff and, and then coming back and having to heal and do all of that. Here we're awakening to the wholeness that we already are, right? This makes sense to you. And then we've got this gorgeous infinity thing that goes on with here we're kind of doing and here we're kind of being. And now, of course, we're just getting into a really messy chart and getting into all of that creative stuff. And I'm not going to do that, but you get the picture. It's both and more. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. That's how I do this, and of course that's how I do this, and in the hut practice, in my private practice, and the two together, man, irresistibly delicious. Something else. Fulfillment now, presence now, joy now. Yeah, you just get to be more your genuine self, fully expressed into the village and sharing. You can't help it. You want to share, you want to serve, you want to bring your cup fullness to as many people as possible. So there you have it. Thank you for joining me. I hope I haven't gone on too long, but there you have it. Bye for now.